You want to find a company that has an owner that has multiple property managers. Isabel, what questions do you guys have? Do you have any questions, any roadblocks, any way that we can help?
So lately, the question that I have, but I know that is the way that you explain. I opened the LLC. I'm looking at the market. I haven't never been in Houston, never. But I am starting calling all the realtors and the property manager that I have the numbers. So right now I am calling those numbers because I was working with a realtor and she was like very bad. I was asking something and a lot of delay. So I was sending her from Zillow, I was sending the links to see if the property was in a good location, but she didn't explain well. Some of the ones that I sent were in a very, very bad location and I didn't know. But right now I have the map and I have selected the areas that I think that are good because I have never been there. But right now for me the most difficult part is that finding a good property manager because I don't know. So I believe that I have to keep calling and get a feeling by phone with the person now and start working because soon, maybe in 2 weeks, we are going to know the property that we can buy. And I think that's the way.
So the property manager is your number one person on your team. They're the quarterback to make sure that you score, you make money, you save money and all that good stuff and protect your property. So the property manager, like what you're talking about, Isabel, you want to make sure that you feel a really, really good fit. Feel like they're competent, that they are trustworthy, that they have the experience, and they're going to communicate with you. Well, the first thing I start doing is calling them every day, multiple times a day, sending texts, sending emails. I do that over and over and over again. I don't care if they're bothering me. I'm not bothering them. I should not have to be doing this. So that's number one. Number two, I'm immediately looking for another property manager. I can't stand when property managers don't talk to me. It makes you want to pull your hair out. You're relying on this income, especially if you've already quit your job and this is your finances. This is how you pay for your food for your family. You're counting on this. And if they're not taking care of it, then you definitely make sure that you are going to find somebody else. So I would definitely suggest, for Christina, if they're not responsive or they're bugging you, and then you make sure that they feel uncomfortable because you're going after them, trying to communicate with them. And if that doesn't work, I would constantly be looking for another property manager. I always have a backup. I always have somebody that's going to be ready just in case something like this happens. So I can immediately call up the property manager and say, hey, take over for this property manager. I'm going to let them know they're fired right now. You go over there, pick up the keys. It's going to be a bummer, but it's so much better when you have a good property manager.
When things like this happen, especially early on, I'm super thankful that it happened before they started managing one of my properties, because there are some situations where property managers change, and I've had that happen just one time. This property manager, she was great, during the interview process, all of that. And then finally, when I gave her a property to manage, she was just terrible at it. The communication wasn't good. So I wish, maybe she did that up front during the interview process so I could quickly move on to the next. So I know it can kind of be painful going through the process sometimes. You want to get started, you want to find a good PM, but be thankful that the property manager is showing you how unresponsive they are up front.
When you're doing anything in business, especially having a property manager, we hire slow and fire fast. So we want to take our time to find the right person, finding the right person the first time. I'd much rather spend extra, let's say another month, finding the right property manager or longer before I start getting into business with somebody who I'm going to have to trade out in the next year. I want to work with somebody for 10, 15 years, but I don't even have to think about it. So.
Okay, quick question. What has worked better for you? A property manager that has a big company, or those property managers that are just starting, that they have a couple of houses, your opinion?
It's very easy for anybody to say they're a property manager and start managing a couple properties. And then the sad thing is, it's easy for them to stop because they don't have a big business. They don't have a lot of expenses coming out of their pocket. So my suggestion is, I personally like a mid-sized company, not the huge, there's not a lot of nationwide companies, but you want to find a company that has an owner that has multiple property managers or multiple employees that are running the business for them, because you are working with the property manager that is an employee, which you work with them. And now if they start screwing up, then you talk to the owner, and then the owner is going to get on their butts because it's their business. So that's my personal preference. But to be completely honest, I've seen good and bad in both. So it's really how you feel as you're talking to them, interviewing them. Literally, property manager is a big deal because they're going to help you to be able to sleep at night and not worry about your properties.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, if you want to make passive income by investing in real estate or grow your investments to achieve financial freedom, well, consider joining the Real Estate Wealth Builders Mastermind with me. Now, in the mastermind, we have people that in as little as 18 months have bought enough properties, 12 rental properties, to make money for them passively for financial freedom, and you can too. It's not about having a lot of money to invest. It's about having access to the right information, the right community of people, and the right coaching. So if you're interested in joining, I want you to check the link in the description and join us so that you become financially free by investing in real estate.